Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today is one of those days that it's not quite winter but it's not quite spring. It's somewhere in the middle and it just reminds me that winter is going to be over soon and I have yet to make a couple of my soups that are my favorite. So today I'm going to show you how to make a steakhouse soup, and to get started I have got a 1/4 cup of butter. And I've already got my pressure, we're going to do this in a pressure cooker, but I've already got my pressure cooker set to sear. So I'm just going to put my butter in here and get that melting. And then I'm also going to toss in, so I've got 2 pounds of meat here, and what I have is chuck steak. Now you can just grab stew meat if you want. I prefer to do it this way because it's a little bit cheaper when I can grab like the family pack on sale, and then I can just chop it myself. All right, so the other thing I'm going to add is I've got a whole green pepper. I got a whole green pepper. I was looking at the onion and the pepper. So a whole green pepper and then a whole onion. Now I used a red one, but you can use just a plain one. I also have a few roasted red peppers that I'm going to throw in there. Mainly because I had those in the fridge and I just needed to use them up. So I'm just going to give this a stir. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic. So probably about, I had some really, really big cloves here. I had to cut them in half. So I would say about 4 or 5 cloves all in all. Oops. Almost lost one. All right, 2 more. All right. I'm going to give this a stir. And then I'm just going to kind of let the meat brown on all its sides. So I'm going to let it sear for a few minutes, give it a stir, let it sear, give it a stir. All right, this is looking good. So one thing I did forget though is I forgot to season my meat. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in some salt. And it might look like a lot of salt, but you imagine we're going to fill this pot up. And some pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to throw in a cup of steak sauce. So you can use A1, which I prefer to the Walmart brand, but because it's just going in soup. I shouldn't say it's just going in soup. I'm going to use the Walmart brand today. All right. And I'm going to add, about 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to add a tiny bit of cayenne pepper. Just a couple of red pepper flakes. That looks good. And about a tablespoon of chili powder. A little bit of parsley. And then I've got a can of Southwest tomatoes, so like your Rotel, undrained. I'm putting the juice in there with it. Give this a stir. It smells good. It smells like steak. And then I've got 2 bags of vegetables here. So I've got roasted red potatoes and green beans. And I've got 2 bags I'm going to throw in. And you can use whatever you like. So if you prefer white potatoes instead of red, or you want to use sweet potatoes, you want to do corn, whatever you like, throw in there. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to add is 6 cups of beef broth or beef stock, whatever you have. And I'll tell you actually what I had. I actually had chicken broth that I had made, and I didn't have any beef on hand, so I just took a couple of bouillon cubes and tossed it in with my chicken stock, and that's all there is to it. So I'm going to put my lid on my pressure cooker, and I'm going to let this cook for about 35 minutes on high. Okay, our soup is done. So we can either just let the steam naturally release, or we can manually release it by pushing the button. Should be facing the other way. But what I love is where you push to let the steam out, and where the steam actually comes out is in like 2 different spots. So it's not real close to your hand. Well, it is today because I don't have it facing me. I'm standing behind the thing. But as you can see, the steam it's cool. The only thing I wouldn't do with it is put one of these under your countertops. So we're just waiting for our little red bobber to drop down. I call it a bobber. I don't know what the heck the name of it is. But once it drops down, then it lets us know that all the steam is out of here. And until it does that, it actually won't even let us open it. I love the Pampered Chef pressure cooker because I just find it to be a lot safer than most of the models out there. And I've owned several. And this one actually has handles on the side where you can carry it. Okay, so it dropped down. So now it is safe for us to open. And look how good this looks. It smells so good. I'm going to try to taste this. Anytime you make something in a pressure cooker, though, it is like extremely hot. And look at this ladle. Isn't this cool? So it has the little, it's a straining ladle. So if you want more chunks in your food, you use the straining part. And if you want more liquid, you use that part. It smells good. I feel like I need more pepper. Love pepper. I need a piece of steak here, what I need. And this is like a dressed up vegetable soup. It's like a vegetable beef all dressed up. It's like if you could take a steak and wrap it in comfort, that's what it tastes like. It is really good. Is what I can taste of it because it's so hot. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Give it a try, and I will see you next time. Bye.